Think that anything, I'm saying justify in that if a person is saying my spouse should know that things have changed in our relationship such that I shouldn't have to say anything to them, and therefore I can now go make this move I want to make, to me that is, yeah, their way of justifying it to themselves, like, okay, this is
Nope.
okay because
Nope.
she should know what she's not doing, she doesn't, so I'm gonna go over here. That to
Nope.
me is
And
a
that's where you off,
justification to
because
yourself.
you're trying to have this and say frame it in a concise explanation as to why I'm now at the point to where I'm considering it. I guarantee you that there was plenty of conversations that was had about the fact that she ain't giving up the box. So why you always fucking tired every day? See, you're talking
Maybe
about
or maybe
no.
not.
You talking
But
about
I'm saying if it's not,
you
I'm
talking
saying if
about
it's
chat
not,
GBT
it
and
needs to.
chat GBT and this shit by the time he already fed up. I'm saying that there are plenty of discussions along the way that has been had that has been ignored. But now that he's to the point to where he like, you know what, fuck this shit. Now he was supposed to have this whole conversation in a concise, well-packaged communication effort so that we
That's not
can
what I'm
work
saying,
together.
Anton. No,
Yes,
I'm
it
saying
is
the
what you're saying.
That's not what I said. And now you're changing what you said, and you're kind of saying what I said, which is conversation needs to be had. Now you're kind of etching in conversations have already been had, but you first said I shouldn't have to
You
say
should know
anything. So
better.
which one are you
No, I
saying?
said that I shouldn't have to say it when it gets to the point you already knew, and that is a part of the conversations that's been had all this time. Let me tell you something.
That's not what I heard.
You just
I don't
added
care
that
what
in
y'all
just
heard.
now.
Y'all know what I'm saying. And we can get back into the whole being specific part of the conversation,
Well, I
or
can't.
we can be real. And the fact of the matter is, by the time that a woman finds out that a dude is on the outs, she takes a glance at who the fuck she became, and she try to make it. You know what I've been seeing as a trend? Women that do the thing of this is how I ended up. And then they be looking dumb as fuck, frizzy, fucked up, toe up. And then they say, now that I'm out of the relationship, this is what I'm becoming. How come women don't start to get gym life together?
Well, let's run that back.
How come they don't start? There was plenty of
Run it back.
conversations
To themselves, like, okay, this is
Nope.
okay because
Nope.
I'm gonna start it back
I
from the
doubt
beginning
it.
for y'all.
I'm saying I don't think that anything. I'm saying justify in that if a person is saying my spouse should know that things have changed in our relationship such that I shouldn't have to say anything to them, and therefore I can now go make this move I want to make, to me that is, yeah, their way of justifying it to themselves, like, okay, this is
Nope.
okay because
Nope.
she should know what she's not doing, she doesn't, so I'm gonna go over here. That to
Nope.
me is
And
a
that's where you off,
justification to
because
yourself.
you're trying to have this and say frame it in a concise explanation as to why I'm now at the point to where I'm considering it. I guarantee you that there was plenty of conversations that was had about the fact that she ain't giving up the box. So why you always fucking tired every day? See, you're talking
Maybe
about
or maybe
no.
not.
You talking
But
about
I'm saying if it's not, I'm
talking
saying if
about
it's
chat
not,
GBT
it
and
needs to.
chat GBT and this shit by the time he already fed up. I'm saying that there are plenty of discussions along the way that has been had that has been ignored. But now that he's to the point to where he like, you know what, fuck this shit. Now he was supposed to have this whole conversation in a concise.
Having your information freely available on the internet makes it easier for anyone.
Communication effort so that
That's
we
not
can
what I'm
work
saying,
together.
Anton. No,
Yes,
I'm
it
saying
is what you're saying.
That's not what I said. And now you're changing what you said, and you're kind of saying what I said, which is conversation needs to be had. Now you're kind of etching in conversations have already been had, but you first said I shouldn't have to say anything. So which one are you saying?
No, I said that I shouldn't have to say it when it gets to the point you already knew, and that is a part of the conversations that's been had all this time. Let me tell you something.
That's not what I heard.
You just added that in just now.
Y'all know what I'm saying. And we can get back into the whole being specific part of the conversation,
Well,
or we can be real. And the fact of the matter is, by the time that a woman finds out that a dude is on the outs, she takes a glance at who the fuck she became, and she try to make it. You know what I've been seeing as a trend? Women that do the thing of, this is how I ended up. And then they be looking dumb as fuck, frizzy, fucked up, toe up. And then they say, now that I'm out of the relationship, this is what I'm becoming. How come women don't start to get gym life together? How come they don't start to push themselves? All of a sudden, you want to go to the gym and get shit together and put it together when you get divorced. You didn't know that that's what you was becoming, but what they doing is, and they go on any social media platform, they are blaming the men that they are with for how they are now frizzied and toe up.
Yep.
They not taking accountability for who they are. And again, I'm not justifying his actions. I'm not justifying what a guy does wrong. But what I'm not going to do is let y'all continue to blame everybody else for the situation that they wind up finding themselves in. By the time you get there, it's almost like being at a job. By the time you get to HR and they let you know they didn't gave you a pip.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Just because you are supposed, apparently, if you know your partner, if you know your spouse, whatever the case may be, just overall, you know yourself. You know who you were at one point. You know what you used to do. You know how disciplined you used to be. And you know that you let yourself go. It is your responsibility to take care of that. It is your responsibility to take care of it. If you don't want your partner coming back to you saying, hey, man, listen, dog, y'all remember the video? Y'all remember the video I had last week? Last Saturday, was it? No, actually, it was Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. The video that I had Wednesday when the husband was telling the wife, listen, I ain't as attracted to you no more. You ain't in the gym. You're not working out. I never said I wanted to leave you or nothing, but I'm just letting you know I'm not attracted to you. That's a conversation that was a conversation. But you're dismissing it. You're blaming him like, well, I had your 2 kids. That was 2 years ago. That's 24. That's 24 months ago. That's not an excuse anymore. A lot of those women who you see, they snatched that shit right back. They started working out just a few months after having the baby. And they started with at-home workouts. And they started to get back in the gym. Next thing you know, they snap right back. As if they ain't even have a baby before. So all of that shit ain't no excuse. You already know what it is. You even know that you ain't that attractive no more. You know that you be walking past that fucking mirror. You be looking at yourself. You be walking past like, God damn, where the fuck all this come from, nigga? I'm a whole nother person. Looking at your face and shit, cheeks all big and shit. Hair looking the mess. Your fucking edges coming the fuck out. Dudes be the same fucking way. Dudes be walking past the fucking mirror like, damn, nigga, where I got this big ass gut from? Where I get this shit from? We all experienced it before. So it's on us at the end of the day. You can't go and blame and say, oh, well, shit, it's because my man or my lady, bro, like, it's nah, nigga. Nope, get in the gym, go work out. Nigga, you know how many workouts? You know how many workouts you can do at home? Pull up YouTube, pull up TikTok. You can find out many ways to work out at home and get the shit done. And get the shit done and get it out the way. I don't want to hear that shit no more, bro. I'm tired of the excuses. I'm sick of it. Don't nobody want to hold themselves accountable. Everybody want to blame the next person. Like mom, like wifey, you know you ain't look the same when we first got together. So now all of a sudden you gonna get mad at me because I tell you that I ain't attracted to you like I once was. Yeah, because when I met you, nigga, you was on point. You didn't let all that shit go. You just said, fuck it. I got her now, so fuck it. No, hell no.
They didn't have conversations with you. They didn't put you on a goddamn warning. They didn't told you that your coworkers have been complaining about you. You know that you on your way to get fired. Yep. Way before you get there. It is not a mistake.
Facts.
And so I'm not justifying the way that he handles things. What I am saying is, by the time that he get there, you already knew that you was going to be an ex-employee.
Work-life balance with
That's a
Betterment,
fact.
the automated investing and savings app. We do the work.
That's all I'm saying.
Carrie's disappointed.
Don't make it any less true. Don't make it any less true. Everybody know that they on their way to getting fired.
I'm used to hearing this this narrative.
What did I say that was wrong?
I didn't say anything that you said was wrong. I said I'm used to hearing this narrative. That's all. I mean, I think that if a marriage gets to a point where anybody steps out, I think both people should be held accountable to where their marriage went wrong. And I think there are specific actions that each person is responsible for. I just don't look at it as a complete.
No, I agree. People, yeah, you're right. People aren't mind readers, but at the same time, you can feel the tension in the house. You know what's going on. If at one point you see that the guy he used to be all up on you, touching on you, feeling on you, all of these different things, ready to pull your shit down and get inside you at every given point, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden that shit just kind of stopped. It's like, hey, what's going on? You used to do this, we used to do that. What happened? So that raises red flags. If it started like that, where you guys weren't that intimate and you guys weren't really doing it like that, then that's when the communication comes in. But when that shit was over hyper, you always doing it. You on top of shit. Y'all doing it on the couch. Y'all doing it in the living room, in the bedroom, in the fucking bathroom, wherever you get a fucking opportunity. And all of a sudden that shit slowed the fuck down. You realize that your pants ain't fitting the way that they used to fit, but then you want to ask your husband or your boyfriend to try to confirm, that you still look good, but he gonna lie to you anyway. He gonna say, yeah, babe, you still look good, because he don't want to argue. He ain't got time for you to argue. He ain't got time to argue. He ain't got time for the extra question. He's like, yeah, babe, you still look good, but I'm still attracted to you. But he gonna be like, and keep doing what he was doing. I'm just being honest. I'm just calling him for what it is. To avoid conflict, he gonna tell him, nah. He's just gonna say, nah, you look good. Nah, you still look good, babe. You still fine. But in his head, like, man, shit, not like you used to be. You done put on about 20 pounds. Just like you with him. You know that nigga picked up, that man picked up about 30, 40 pounds, kicking it on the couch, just eating shit, ain't worked out in months of Sundays, just at home, sitting down, ain't doing nothing, ain't active on nothing. Can't even walk up a flight of stairs without huffing and puffing up that bitch. And you looking at him, but next thing you know, because you focusing on yourself, you working on yourself, you be out here in these streets and you see these other men out here getting it. You were like, and I got this big glob at home on the couch. Come on now. Communication is 90% body language and 10% of what you say. 90% body language and only 10% of what you say. So 90% has already been communicated. You see what's going on. You know what's going on. 90% has already been confirmed, which technically speaking would most likely be enough. But for some of us, we need that extra 10%. Like, hey, I need you to tell me, say what you mean what you say, closed mouth don't get fed, right? So, but just saying, you see it.
One-sided thing, and I definitely don't look at you stepping out or you not keeping your commitment and your word as not your responsibility, regardless of if somebody's not holding up their end in your head or whatever. That does not exonerate you from not holding up yours. I just don't look at it like that. I 100% agree. I 100% agree that if a man especially steps out, that the woman, especially if she wants to keep her marriage, needs to take she needs to really reflect on that. And that's why I said the conversation is very important. Honesty is very important, because clearly something has changed, but not to the point where it's like, it's your fault that he did it. You should have, you, not him. And he, like, I just don't look at it like that. I don't think you can have a sound marriage taking that kind of approach. That's just me.
At what point did I not say and preface the conversation by saying the actions that the man take is not justified and it's wrong? I don't know why.
You say that, and then you it's almost like a yes but. Like you say that, then you go down this whole road that
It's not
comes
a but, it's
across.
an and.
Whatever. That's how it comes across. I say you say it like, not that's what you said, but you say it like, yeah, hear this little part so that nobody gets on me about that. Now let's really deal with what it is. You know why he cheated. You know why, because you're fat, you're lazy, you're this, you're that, you're blah, 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 blah. It's wrong what he did, but you're fat, you're lazy, you ain't cooking, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. You did it like, and so for me, I just don't look at it like that, because again, if you're not gonna leave your marriage, then at some point in time, y'all have to be able to talk like you're on the same team. And to me, that approach puts y'all on two different teams. So
you know what's so funny about this?
I don't see how you solve.
You know what's so funny about this is that I never, ever see a woman say, you know what?
Same old phone? Nah.
Oh, Anton getting that money, boy.
Galaxy Z Fold 7.
Hey, he getting that money.
Sign up in seconds. It's about time insurance does that. Get a quote at lemonade.com.
I fucked up. I lost my man. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And Carrie's rhetoric is very similar to what a lot of women speak like when it's always a him. Why didn't you have the conversation? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Her rhetoric is very much reflective of what I see from women on social media on a regular basis, always saying, I don't like the way you said it. I don't like the way you're framing it. I don't like the additional context that you're adding into it. At some point, if at any point in that conversation that a woman says, you know what, I need to get my fucking life together before I lose my situation, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't even be having this conversation because there's never.
All right, so listen. I'm gonna give y'all a scenario and help y'all understand what's going on here and what's happening. So I know this person, right? I know this person, and this is a person they live. You know what I'm saying? This is a person that's an old friend of mine, right? And so what happened is him and his chick, they've been together for a long fucking time, right? And she's, you know, when you're together for a long time, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Things kind of get a little, I guess you could say, you kind of get a little comfortable in the relationship, right? Get a little comfortable in the relationship. Okay. So this person started getting back into the gym. The guy started getting back into the gym, started working on himself, started literally getting in that fucking gym, being consistent, going to the gym minimum 4 times a week, getting himself back together, you know, fixing his wardrobe, you know, just getting himself together, you know, getting himself back to the way that he used to be, plus something, right? Focusing on other things, getting his money up, and all of this. In the meantime, his lady, she was kind of still in the cut. You know, she was trying to figure some things out. You know, she was just kind of going with the flow, but she started to pay attention to her guy. She was noticing things. She was noticing he was getting more fit. She was noticing that he was dressing better. She was noticing that he was taking more care of his skin and health. All these different things. She just noticed it, because it wasn't because he was doing it for another woman. He wasn't that. But because he wanted to be a better version of himself. He wanted to grow. He wanted to build. He wanted just to become better overall, so that way he can feel better about himself. Now, as a result of that, when he go outside, he get a lot of eyes. When he out with his girl, he get a lot of eyes. She noticed it. And she noticed it. So what did she do? she talked to him. Like, listen, hey, I see you getting a lot of eyes. I see you getting them. That's all she said. I see you getting a lot of eyes. I see it, and I don't want to be that person that you leave because I wasn't on my shit. And this is the true story. So guess what she did? Instead of her complaining, whining, she took accountability in herself. She's like, well, I know I haven't been taking care of myself lately as I should have. I've been slacking a lot. I know I should be in better shape. So that's exactly what she started to do. She started to get into shape. Because mind you, as this guy was focusing on himself, getting better in the gym, and his lady was still sitting there chilling, not doing nothing, that attraction wasn't there for a minute. It was not there. It was like, I'm just not as attractive. Just not as attractive. But when she took accountability and started getting to the gym, started taking care of herself again, like she once used to, guess what? That attraction came back. Now they doing the same thing that they were doing when they first started. They fucking all everywhere, all over the floor. The attraction is there. So it's not like the attraction can't go, like it can't come back. But you need to rekindle that spark again with what it started with from the jump plus some. So it's more so it's not necessarily the fact of, oh, well, it's because she ain't attractive. Nah, you focus on yourself as the man, focus on building and growing yourself. And she needs to do the exact same thing. It ain't about what the other person's not doing. No, you need to focus on you. You need to become the best version of yourself. You know how you look, and you even know it. When you look at them old ass pictures, how you used to look, you used to look at yourself, God damn, I used to be so thin. Oh, I used to look so good back then. So you already know in your head that you don't look the same. So why don't you go fix that? Why? Just because you already in a relationship, you think that this nigga may not, you think that, especially if he's working on himself, you think this nigga ain't getting these eyes? Come on, man. Take accountability on both sides. Take accountability for your own shit. Just because you in a relationship, just because you in a marriage or whatever the case, that don't mean that you still don't need to focus on you and build yourself up in order for this thing to continue to keep going, for this train to keep fucking rolling.
Hey, there's never a holistic moment where you can remove the man from the conversation and have a one-to-one with who it is that women become when they find themselves in a situation that they shouldn't be in.
But that's like saying that fit women who cook don't get cheated on, and that's not true.
That's not even the conversation that we having.
But
Molly introduced it and said that a lot of these women be letting themselves go in the conversation. Because now y'all adding additional factors. Molly said that this is what women do. This is a situation that they find themselves in. I said, well, okay, well, women know that shit is coming and they know what they finding themselves in way before they ever get to the conversation. That was the context. But if we change in the narrative, then we can change that too. And that's cool.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. But it's
listen, okay. If y'all feel better about us telling
y'all heard it is how you heard it. But that's not what I said. And I clearly also said that if somebody steps outside of the marriage, then I definitely think that and I said especially if the man does it, the woman does need to take a step back and reflect. That's where the communication comes in. I said, especially if you want to keep your marriage. Like I just said that. And I also said, that's why I think this whole thing of like, it's all on you. If y'all are trying to keep your marriage together, you have to learn how to play on the same team. Like that's all of what I just said. So I don't understand this Carrie's rhetoric of making the man wrong and the woman right. I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but I'm also
because when I said that I prefaced the conversation,
I did not.
I said I prefaced the conversation saying that I'm not justifying it and he's 100% wrong. And here's the additional context as to how they got themselves to that point. You didn't like that.
If you're a man over 30 who makes at least $150 grand a year and you're still embarrassed to take your shirt off at the pool, you're number.
And you said that you didn't like.
But I told you that your comment sounded like a yes button. I explained how it sounded like that. To me, your comment did the opposite. So where you're implying that I'm saying it's all on the man, there's nothing on the woman, to me, your comment is implying the opposite. It's not on the man, it's all on the woman. And what I'm saying is, if you are in a marriage and somebody has had an affair and y'all want the marriage to stay together, everybody has to work at fixing it. Everybody has to come to the table to talk about what went wrong. Everybody has to come to the table and be honest about where things are. Both parties, not one, not him, not just her, but both of them. But if we're going to play this game of, I shouldn't have to come and speak to you about it, you should know. And I didn't do nothing wrong. Even like, if that's the approach we're taking, the marriage is not
whack,
that's not whack.
That is whack. That is so whack.
Okay, Anton. Okay.
Because what I said was,
you got it.
What I said was, is that a woman for a long time, a lot of these conversations has been had way before it gets to the point. She knew what was coming. It's not that difficult for her to understand. A dude don't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm about to go out here and bust it down for a real one. That's not how it usually plays out. Does it happen sometimes? Maybe, but that's not usually how it plays out. And so I said that way before it ever gets to that point, she already knows who she is in a role that she's playing in a relationship. If you're here's the way I see it. If you're telling me that you're willing to get it together just because you think that I'm about to step out, then I don't want to be fucking with you in the first place. Because the only reason that you're doing it is because you think that I'm gonna leave. That means that the only reason that you're getting yourself together is because you think that I'm gonna leave. If I have to sit here and come to you, I have to sit here and come to you and say, yo, I think I'm about to step out, and then you want to start working together, then that means that it was already a fucking problem. And the only reason that you're trying to stay together is because you don't want me to leave for whatever reason, whether it be how you feel, your reputation, or all of that other shit. But if it gets to that point to where I got to have that conversation with you, now you want to sit here and lecture me on how it is that I need to be working together as a team. Fuck you. I'm not working together.
Like, why is that? That's what I'm saying. Is I get it. That's why I said earlier, I've heard this before, especially from you, and I get it. Like, we get to a point where we just agree to disagree. Like, even in your temperament and your demeanor towards the idea of working it out and having conversation, I see like that's not a thing for you. You're like, I ain't doing all that. What the fuck I look like sitting here?
Well, the problem, I think I get it. I get what Carrie's saying, but I think she's missing it. So it's preventative maintenance, right? It shouldn't get to that point. It shouldn't get to the point where you've let yourself go so long to the point where you start to notice or see me looking a certain way, start as having eyes everywhere else. It shouldn't get to that point. That's the point. So preventative maintenance. So there's a threshold, right? It's like, all right, let's use money for an example, right? So I'm using basic scale. Let's just act like we're talking to teenagers here. Listen, I'm gonna give you $100. Give you $100. Give you $100, right? I'm gonna start you off with $100. $100 is your zero. $100 is your zero. Meaning, do not let your money get below zero. Always keep $100 on you. All right. You want to stack your money. Boom. On 100. Boom. On 100. Boom. On 100. Boom. On 100. So now you up to $500, right? You having fun. Hey, having a little money. Boom, boom, doing my thing. Hey. Right? Now you look at your account. You down to $200 because you had a little bit too much fun. So now you're like, all right, I still got $100 though. I can go have a little bit more fun. You have a little bit more fun. Yeah, have a little fun, doing my thing, right? Boom. You at $100. You at $210. No, I'm sorry. You at $110. You got $10 left. Remember, that $100 is your zero. You go below that zero, you go below that 100, it's a wrap. You go below that 100, it's a wrap, because guess what? You're gonna continue to keep thinking that you got enough money, you got money until you get to zero. You actually don't have no money. Now you're gonna find yourself in the negative. So you can use that as this situation right here. If you started here in a relationship, you started here, everything was great, everything was cupcakes, cookies, and ice cream, right? And I get it. Sometimes shit go up and down, things happen in a relationship. But if you let yourself get to a point that you get so low in a relationship, to the point that you lose who you are, you forget who you are as a person, everything, your body, you didn't added on 50, 60, 70 fucking pounds. You didn't got lazy, your hair don't look the same, your shit all dried out. You looking rough, your skin ain't shining like it once was, you ain't in shape like you used to be, you ain't even cooking the same foods no more. You ain't clean like you used to be, like it's just everything just out of fucking whack. Everything's out of fucking whack. And this shit is a slow decline. It don't happen just like that. It happens over time. And if you ain't caught yourself or noticed yourself, like, damn, I'm on this decline, bro. Like, what the fuck? I need to get my shit back. By this time, reminder, there's still other things going on too. So while you were already up here, everything was great. You and your guy, everything was great. You're attractive. You in shape. Y'all lovesy, cutesy, all this other shit. But over time, the decline starts to happen. You stop cooking as much. Gain a little weight. Just a little bit, not a lot yet. You know what I'm saying? You're still clean a little bit, but you're not cleaning as you once used to clean. Other little things start to happen. And you slowly decline. Now, mind you, sometimes depending on the guy, he may be declining with you. Both of y'all may be declining. The attraction level ain't there. Y'all ain't looking at that. He didn't gain some weight. Because he's working. All he doing is working, eating, sleeping, shitting, and then coming home, kicking his feet up on the couch and just watching TV. So he ain't doing nothing. He ain't got no aspirations. He ain't got no motivation. He ain't doing nothing. So this shit just constantly declining. Y'all ain't having sex no more. So that spark ain't there no more. So now y'all just basically existing. Y'all just coexisting in the house together. Y'all just there. Y'all ain't going out on dates. Y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all just there. Y'all ain't even conversing with each other. Y'all ain't talking. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Just there. Just existing. Basically. Just existing. Going to work. Go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing over and over. And y'all just constantly keep declining. You getting bigger and bigger and unattractive and more unattractive. Y'all see each other Y'all see each other every day. Remember, communication is 90% of body language and what you see, 10% of what you say. Y'all see this shit, but y'all choose to ignore it. You looking at her like, man, I ain't even attracted to that. My shit ain't even getting hard no more. You looking at him like, man, my pussy don't even get wet for this nigga no more. But neither one of y'all are taking action in regards like, look, you know what? Let me get myself back together because I know I don't fit them clothes the way I look to. Like Shorty used to be, nigga, I used to be in bed. Shorty used to grab my shit and she used to start going crazy on it while I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I used to be on the couch just chilling. Shorty would just come over there and pull my shit down and go to town. Or damn, I used to be in there washing dishes. Shit, he'll just pull up behind me, pull my shit down. We be going crazy on the kitchen. You feel me? So those are the little things. Those are little things that you don't pay attention to. That don't happen anymore. That once used to happen. Y'all ain't paying attention to it because y'all choose not to. Y'all choose to ignore the shit. So I get what Carrie's saying. I do. I understand it. But she missing it because Carrie's so. I'm not gonna say not even nuance. I'm not even gonna say nuance. I can't even think of the term of what Carrie's not analytical. What the fuck is the word that I'm looking for Carrie? I guess for lack of a better word, she's just nuanced. She's very nuanced. I'll just say that for lack of a better term. If somebody else can figure out what I'm trying to say, I'll give you a brownie.
Listening to you
because I'm not about to work with you. Either you work on it and you get your.
That might be
either you there or you not. Either you gonna get it together or you not. I should not have to work with what. Okay, tell me what is it that I should.
That sounds weird that you're saying you should not have to. Which again implies.
Let me ask the question, Carrie. Let me ask you a question. What is it that we work on? How are we working? Let's work it out. Me and you married. We got a problem in our relationship. How should we work this out so that we can fix our marriage? Explain it to me. What should we do?
I really wouldn't know how to work on it with you because you come across like, yo, I'm perfect. You're not.
I'm asking you for guidance.
Give me
some insight, baby
girl.
Baby
get
girl.
If you can't be where I am, then why are you here? Like,
no,
listen,
no. Don't lecture me about why I'm not here.
Perfect.
I want to be with you, but I realize that we got problems. What is it that we should work on, baby girl, Carrie?
What are the problems you realize we have?
You don't want to listen.
You just said I realized we got problems. So what are the problems?
You have to say it.
What is it that we together need to work on is what I'm asking.
But if you just said you come to me saying you realize we have problems we need to work on, then I'm going to ask you, what are the problems that you see we need to work on?
No. You said that we needed to work together. So what I'm asking you, because
I said,
listen, this is where I stand. I believe that we all know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Anton, she got you. She didn't get you, but you did say, you know what I'm saying? I see that there are some problems, you know what I'm saying? How can we work on it as a collective? I do see that part. You did say that part. So
where we are in life. We all know where we are within our relationships. We know this. This is not something that is crazy, any of that stuff. You know where you at. I know where I'm at, right? If you believe that we need to work.
Oh, what you mean? What you mean, Snow Bunny? What you mean?
As a team, exactly what do we need to work on in order to fix this thing?
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey, you would have to know what the problem is first. And just because you think that she knows, maybe she doesn't. Or if she thinks that the problem is she's not cooking and the problem is she gained 20 pounds, those are not the same problems. You have to tell her what the issue is. He needs to tell you what the issue is. At that point, y'all start talking.
You know what's so funny though? When you get a girl that gets newly single, she know how to make everything right. She know how to perfect herself. She don't need no man's guidance. She don't need to go talk to nobody. She don't need to go and figure it out. She know everything that she need to do in order to get another man. Ain't that funny? How she needs guidance when she's with the man that she's supposed to be with, but she don't need no goddamn guidance when she go out there and get single.
But you say that men are supposed to give their women guidance, Anton.
Through leadership. I do agree that yes, you're supposed to get the leadership at the same, but even then, you already know to get the man, you already know what you got to do. And if you know that what got him in the first place is not there anymore, that's probably a start. That's probably a start. And let's not be, come on, man. Come on, Carrie. Come on, Carrie. I know I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I get it. But come on, Carrie. Come on, Carrie.
I do.
So what are you saying?
But I said that the conversations have been had all the way up to the point to where they get in the divorce in the first place.
That's the assumption. And I said maybe that does happen for some people, but a lot of people, maybe it's not happening. Maybe a lot of people are not having the conversations that you're thinking they're having, which again is why I said I think that the communication part needs to happen. Now, if the man is coming to his woman and he's like trying like to figure this, something is up, this ain't feeling right, however he chooses to approach her, and she's just like, whatever, okay. I mean, I'm not saying go cheat, maybe you should end it or whatever, whatever, but I get it. But a lot of times that might not always be how that may not
Carrie, get it out now.
Always happens. the communication usually in relationships is stifled. Like,
do y'all think that the communication is great between the side chick and the guy that's in the relationship?
About certain things, probably, yeah.
It needs to be had. What conversation needs to be
Do you
had?
think that he's? Do you think that he?
Man, hell, man, listen, bro. They being okay, so they being disingenuous now. Yes, conversations need to be had, but the problem is when you try to have that conversation with the wife, or when you try to have a conversation with your wife, with your girlfriend, or whoever that person is, it don't go over. It does not go over like everybody think it does, because somebody's gonna get butthurt, because somebody's not gonna be empathetic on how they said, because it's not what they said, it's how they said it, versus just taking it for what it is and then doing something about it, and so that way you can get results, and that way you can continue to strengthen the relationship. So when he asked a question, I mean, and listen, this is just not no personal experience or nothing, but I'm pretty sure that when you have the conversation with the child, with the side chick, right? I'm pretty sure there's communication, that you got to have communication in order to do whatever it is that y'all doing, right? You saying whatever it is, you letting them know what it is. Like, look, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that, and I ain't doing this. So we just gonna keep it at this level. We good, bet. And so if y'all really want to be real about the conversation, the reason they don't have a conversation because nobody wants to get the reason a man really won't tell you why is because 9 times out of 10 the woman's gonna get butthurt about it. They're gonna feel some type of way because now it's you're attacking them, or you don't love them no more, or you want to leave them, or you just so mean, or you're verbally abusing them. Like, nah, just told you I wasn't attracted to you. I'm not attracted to you. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Ain't got nothing to do with me stepping outside or looking at other things. I'm just not attracted to you. And it could be for a number of things. It could be because you may not be talking to that person the same, or you may not be wearing the same clothes you used to wear, or it may be because you gained a little weight and it don't look the same no more. Whatever the case may be, it can be a lot. It can be a number of things to why he is not attracted to you no more. But you can't look at that as, oh my God, my life is, oh no, do this. This is the prerequisite. This is the prerequisite. If you as a man or a woman, you realize that the relationship is going downhill, go back to how it got there in the first place. Go back to how it started. How did you look? What were you doing? What were you doing? Once you figure that out, like how did you look? Were you at your best? Were you at your fittest? How were you dressing back then? Go back and do some what do you call it? Well, what do you call it? What's that shit? Audit. Go back and do an audit on yourself. When that moment that you got that individual that you with right now, go back and look at how you look, how you behave, how you work, and see if you can bring that person back out again. If you were slim, fit, and all that in shape, go back to that person. Of course, you're just gonna be a little bit better now because you got older, you got a little wiser now. But now you're older and you're wiser now. You look fantastic. You look fantastic on top of it. You've adopted a different behavior. You've adopted discipline. You've gotten that spark back. You've gotten that motivation back. You got that little peppy and stuff now. Now you walking different. You feel me? Now they gonna be looking at you like, hold on, now this is a different person. Like, you feel me? So let's be honest. Yes, I do believe that communication is vital, but at the same time, some things just don't need to be communicated. You just need to pay attention to yourself and build yourself up. And I guarantee that person, if you are the true leader, she's going to follow. She's going to follow because she's going to see your hard work and dedication, and they're going to follow too. They're going to see like, well, shit, I can't get left behind because this nigga in here, this nigga in the gym, this nigga eating healthy, this nigga doing all this shit right here. He's looking good. He's focused. He's taking care of his skin, taking care of his hair, dressing well, all these different things. And I'm just sitting over here looking like this. And then, mind you, I see these other women looking at him. Paying attention to him. Shit, that's my man. So I need to step my game up because I'm sorry to tell you, ladies. I'm sorry to tell you. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm not sorry to tell you. At the end of the day, you still competing for your man. And mind you, if you know that you have an attractive man, if you know that you have a man that's about something, if you know you have a man that's growing, that's building, that's trying to be the best version of himself, you need to know. That doesn't mean he's going to go cheat on you. That doesn't mean he's going to step out of you, but just know that you are competing. You are competing. Always. Just because you got him now, that don't necessarily mean anything. You need to be competing. You need to stay on your fucking toes. You need to stay at your tip-top shape. Just as the man, he need to be doing the same thing. He need to stay at tip-top shape. He need to continue to keep pushing, becoming the best version of himself. But most of all, ladies, you got to stay competitive. Yes, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here. When a lot of women see a man who is on his purpose, he's moving, he's grinding, he ain't out here just being a fucking hoe or a dog. He's out here working, grinding, trying to build some shit. Trust me, eyes are on him. Whether he know it or not, they're looking. They're looking. So just as they're looking, you need to be looking too, and making sure that you on your A game all the time. So when you step out and he step out with you, like, oh shit, I see. Because the last thing you want to hear is, why the fuck is he with her? Just saying. But listen, man, I'm a cut it right there. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. At the end of the day, I do think that both need to continue to work. I do think that communication is vital. But I just need the finger to stop being pointed back at each other and just point it back at yourself. Figure out what it is that you need to do, and you go from there, man. Stop pointing the finger at everybody. Stop trying to point the finger at the next person because you don't want to take accountability of what you're doing. You know that you weren't supposed to eat those bag of chips just because you saw everybody else eating them. Nope. Just take accountability. Like, nah, fuck that. I wanted to eat them chips. I don't feel guilty. All right, it is what it is. You took accountability. Like, yo, you ate them and you know what it is. You understand the consequences and the results behind it. Like, what's wrong with taking accountability, taking ownership? You know that makes you more attractive, right? Being who you are, but understanding that, look, I know what it is I need to do. I ain't got no excuse. I know there are certain decisions that I make that I know I shouldn't make, but I still do anyway, just because sometimes niggas just don't give a fuck. That's the honest God truth. But I know there's a bigger purpose though. So therefore, you can't continue to keep doing the same exact thing, expecting a different result. So yeah, y'all gotta get better with these relationships though. Carrie, I do understand though. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. And I do hear what AD's saying too. So I hear it on both sides. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. And make sure y'all hit that bell notification.